What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Trisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Guys, we've got to talk about this. A lot of times I think most men today do a good job ignoring the panders. They do a good job ignoring the male panders who get online, feed sweet nothings to women because we know it's a hustle. We know that man's trying to get a bag. He's trying to garner attention. He's telling them lies about themselves. And yes, women flock to these men. Yes, they don't fact check. Yes, they believe these lies. Derek Jackson's a very good example of that. But that's not who we're here to talk about right now. There's this interaction, guys. It's so important that this is highlighted and this man's put on blast for this. But he's basically trying to make a point. The video that he released is captioned, "No man who is not a threat worry about false allegations." And so in that statement, saying no man who is not a threat worry about false allegations, he's basically saying if you're a man and you're worried about being accused falsely for something, then you are a threat to women. There's something that you probably are doing wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't be worrying about that. You'd just be walking through life without a worry because false allegations don't really happen that much. He was responding to a comment in one of his videos of a man who said, the victim is not to blame, but some women do lie. They're victims of false allegations. They are also victims. And that was his response, right? This is his response. We're going to check out the video because I think this is just ridiculous and needs to be called out. Let's check it out.
I just want to say this really quickly about false allegations because a lot of men will use this and even women will believe this because it's said so often. No man that's not a predator worries about this. This is just simply a fact. I'm a man. I'm almost 50 years old. I'll be 47 this year. I have never in my entire life been worried about a false allegation. I don't know a man who does not try to coerce women into bed, whether they like it or not, whether that be with charm, alcohol, whining, crying, pushing. It's only men who want to get it no matter what that are concerned, because what they're trying to do is make sure that when they kind of coerce or threaten or push and get it, that then the woman might realize that she was actually assaulted and then say something and they want to take that away. No man who has no intentions of doing that and will only get consent is ever worried about this. Ladies, don't worry about it. Men who aren't a problem, don't worry about it.
Can you believe that shit? Let's go back here. There's a certain part I want to hear.
Who want to get it no matter what, that are concerned, because what they're trying to do is make sure that when they kind of coerce or threaten or push and get it, that then the woman might realize that she was actually assaulted and then say something and they want to take that away. No man who has no intentions of doing that and will only get consent is ever worried about this.
So he's saying there that these men are worried about false allegations because they try to basically seduce women with charm. Seduction. He's talking about seduction like it's some type of an evil thing. Like women don't seduce men and men don't also seduce women. Why is it that society has produced some of the most soft, most pandering men, and they go along with this idea that seduction game, the mating dance of women trying to seduce men and men trying to seduce women is somehow wrong and evil. And they pretend like there's contracts that people have when they meet, go on dates multiple times, and they sit down and sign a contract and say, oh, I give you consent. The fact this man talks like this lets you know that he's never really dealt with a lot of women in his life. The fact that he thinks false allegations aren't common, and there aren't women out here who aren't trying to pin men with false allegations, shows his lack of experience with women. And of course, the women in the video were eating it up. These are the type of guys they choose to listen to. First comment here says, a man is more likely to be raped by another man than being falsely accused. But I suppose if you were pushy with women, you would be more worried about the false allegations. No, sometimes women just lie and make shit up. You might be wondering, well, why would a woman do that? Like Cat Williams would say, I don't know why liars lie. embarrassment, shame, who knows? Could be, they could just be sick in the head. So you're telling me some women are sick in the head? Yes. Some women are sick in the head. Some women need help. It happens a lot. False allegations are very, very common, especially in marriages, especially in divorces. I've had an attorney who I've reacted to on the channel confirm this. They've talked about how they do not take accusations of SA and really bad accusations when it comes to children and stuff that seriously because of how common it is for the women to lie. These are lawyers telling you this. And the judges don't take it that seriously just based on word of mouth, just because of how common it is to lie in those situations. And I'm not here trying to say that stuff doesn't happen, because it does, and it needs to be punished if it's true. There are a lot of women out here lying about horrible, horrific shit that could ruin a man's life. Imagine you never have done anything like that to a woman. You've never been guilty of something like that. You're not that type of a person. And now you have a woman who's spreading false lies that you are. A painful experience for a lot of men who go through this. And you have panders like this guy who are trying to push a narrative that if he's worried about false allegations, then he's probably a threat. Here's another comment in response to that video. This is a woman who says, absolutely. There's another chick who said, nail on the head. Here's somebody else who says, I'm 30 and I've seen multiple men. Oh, this is somebody else. Okay. Multiple men have their lives flipped upside down by false accusations. It's not some rare instance, this commenter says. Woman here responds, yeah, it is. Very rare, love. You just know a lot of weird people then, hun. And so, luckily, a woman actually decided to respond to this. And this is what she had to say. Let's check it out.
I just want to say this really quickly about false allegations, because a lot of men will use this, and even...
Who here remembers Modern Warrior and that whole saga? Or the numerous other male TikTok creators who predominantly focus on female content, female-geared content, who turned out to be wolves in sheep's clothing? I do. I know in internet years that was forever ago, but my memory's not that short. You know what they all had in common? They all pandered to their female audiences. They all told them what they want to hear, reinforced their beliefs,
right,
their negative beliefs about men. All men are terrible. You have a right to be afraid. False allegations aren't rare. You're a beautiful goddess, angel person thing, and men are horrible. All men except me. And here we have another example. The reason why this example pisses me off more than some of the other examples is because he's talking about false allegations, which he absolutely knows nothing about. I do. I mean, I'm only writing a book about it. But not only that, but as a victim myself, because I was drugged and AR'd when I was 16. So I actually do know what I'm talking about.
That's unfortunate. She's also writing a book about false allegations. I'm going to have her TikTok pinned to the top of the comment section down below. That's very interesting.
Because I've been in victim spaces my entire life for the past 18 years. Having been in all those spaces, I can comfortably say that I have actually met more people who have lied about it and admitted to lying about it than I have met actual victims. And majority of people lying about it are women. Now, that's not to say all women lie.
Whoa.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Most women don't, but a large enough percentage of them do, that the credibility of the people who have actually been victimized is forever called into question. It's the boy who cried wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the women I know who lied about it to either one of two things. They either did it to punish someone else, so they weaponized an accusation to ruin someone's life or punish someone, or to get out of trouble. I don't condone either of them. But only someone whose credibility has never been called into question because of false allegations can afford to be so casually dismissive.
Right.
Oh, it's not that big of a percentage. It actually is quite a big percentage. The percentage that you always love to quote, the 2 to 5%, is only those accusations proven false during the course of a criminal proceeding. It does not include civil disputes. It does not include false allegations proven to be false during the course of a police investigation. None of that. And then, to make matters even worse, the people who do the false accusations, who make them, are almost never punished for it. Maybe if we started punishing people who make false allegations,
right,
they'd stop doing it. And then, and only then, would the people who have actually been victimized feel comfortable coming forward?
It's just like the video I just did with the ladies in New York getting punched in the face by some man. I didn't believe those videos when I first saw them. And now that I've looked into it a little bit more, and by the way, they found a guy. I'm going to make sure I do a follow-up on that video. But the consequence is that those women weren't taken seriously, and other women won't be taken seriously. It's insane that there's no punishment when it comes to women out here lying.
Because I can't tell you how many victims I talked to, myself included, who tried to come forward and were told, you're making it up. We were accused of lying. We are accused of lying because it happens so often. Now, lots of people have made videos about this guy, friends of mine included. I'm a little bit more irked than they are, with the exception of maybe Dan and maybe Tammy. That said, ladies, if you've made it this far and you're all getting ready to be frothed at the mouth because what do you know? Any man who panders to you, tells you what you want to hear, gratifies everything you think, and reinforces this idea that men are to be feared except for them, is not doing it for any good reason.
Come on. I didn't know we had a barista here.
I also hesitate to remind you that the majority of men who are that way, who are victims themselves, are minors. So for you to sit there and say, women have it worse, which is what I'm getting right now in the comments under his video, is a woman who's telling me, oh, I'm pandering to male egos because women have it worse. No, we don't. The most recent data from the CDC proves that men report being made to, that's female on male, at near identical rates as women report male on female. It's happening, it's the same amount. The victim size is the same, gender symmetry, male and female in victims, and gender symmetry in perpetrators. Men and women offend at same near equal amounts, and the majority of the male victims are under the age of 18. So for you to sit there and say, women have it worse, you're basically saying little boys don't matter. It doesn't matter if they're touched. Oh no, because women have it worse. I would rather an adult woman be victimized than a child. That's not making it a contest, because it's not a contest. It is not a contest. Victimhood is not a contest, and it is certainly not a gendered one. Do better.
Oof. Wow. That was a lot of information to take in. So she said that the offenses are done at the same rate. One thing that I'm realizing is that this makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense that a woman, because she wasn't taken seriously when she went and reported her case, is now hell-bent on making sure that women who go around talking about all the false accusations get exposed. That pandering shit, man, is horrible. It's horrible. They don't drink coffee. Pandering to women, though it is a profitable business, is highly, highly, highly just destructive. And then she goes on to talk about how most of the boys who are victims of women when it comes to SA are under 18. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here says, a male feminist is one of the scariest types of men. Somebody else here added, the men that pander on this app are the absolute worst, and they go after women's vulnerabilities. Here's somebody else who says, until false accusations are punished under the law, men will continue to not help women in their jobs or in any other way. Somebody else here says, 250 men released from prison after DNA became available. 250 women sworn in court on a Bible cried and screamed, he raped me. They all did at least 30 years in prison. That's insane. Here's another comment that reads, essentially, if a man starts preaching radical feminism, don't trust them. No one goes against their own interest unless they think they can get something out of it. Yeah. That's crazy. Listen, guys, of course, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. As always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.